It's the Pod in the City weekly roundup. I'm John.
And I'm Amanda. The Bear Season 3 finally dropped. Does it live up to its short king expectations?
Drag Race All-Stars 9 had another design challenge. Who served and who deserved to go home, even though no one goes home and there are no stakes.
And Jojo Siwa continues to terrorize Pride events all over the world.
Oh my gosh, run for your life. All that and so much more on this week's episode of the Pod in the City weekly roundup. Hello, party people.
Hi, everyone. What's up? Happy
It's
Monday.
Joan and Amanada.
We're here.
Happy Monday. In fact, Happy Canada Day.
Happy Canada Day. I was going to wear my country's color, but it's red. And I don't. Very few people look good in red, and I certainly am not one of them. Do you want to know what I did on Canada Day, Joan?
I do. I feel like titillating to know.
Yeah, I can tell you were thrilled when I added it to the lineup.
Tell us all.
Nothing. I just had my mom and Ron over, and I made this lovely little dinner: chicken burgers, tricolored carrots with pomegranate and honey and rosemary from my own garden.
Wow.
A little salad there, and then mocktails, and then I got Walter groomed.
That meal looks actually really good.
It was pretty fucking bougie. And here's Walter, and then here's George on Canada Day walking around in charge. And here's Latrice. She got a new little collar. It's neon pink. Happy Canada Day to everyone from me and my pets.
Happy Canada Day, Latrice and George.
And you got your big one coming up this week. Proud to be an American.
I told Amanda, Amanda's like, so you're going to do a Jones Moans? And I said, you know what? I'm too far down right now to even have a Jones Moans. I'm going to fully explode. One. A lot of things are happening. If you live in the United States, you know what's going on. And I'm fucking sick of it. All I'm going to say is go to vote.gov. If you aren't registered to vote, it's a fucking necessity.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway, what a lovely way to start.
We're not a political podcast, but I immediately,
baby,
I scroll past anything about the debate. I'm like, I can't,
honey,
I can't
I'm just going to give everyone a slight warning. Leading up until November, I'm not going to guarantee I'm not a partially political podcast here. I'm not going to get too deep. But
I'm definitely going to agree with you all
because there's too many apathetic people who think that, it's over and we can't do anymore and whatever, and that everyone's terrible. No, not everyone's terrible.
Well, anyway. But it's Canada Day. Everything's wonderful here.
For Canada.
Heck yes.
I'm okay with 4th of July this week because I am going to go be in a pool and go chilling.
I'm going to Stampede on the 4th of July with Justine.
Ooh.
We're going to dress up like cowgirls.
Are you actually?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I need you to report back on some of that food you told us about.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to
take all the edibles. I'm going to take at least 10 grams and just fucking slaughter my way through. I'm going to go out Ubering my ass off this week. And I'm going to plan to spend around $500 on food.
I get that though. I really get that. Hey, anyway, guys, if you're watching us on YouTube, please subscribe. We are so close to 600 subscribers. It's ticking up every day, baby. So please subscribe, hit the like. You can leave us a comment. That also really, 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 really helps. If you are listening to us on the podcast places, please subscribe there to all that yada, yada, all that jazz. Leave us 5-star reviews, please.
Yeah, and Patreon.
5 stars. You can also send us an email if you'd like, though, to give us some,
constructive criticism.
Not far. This week our episode is for Sex and the City is 4 Women and a Funeral, and we had fun.
I had fun yesterday doing those episodes. We really pushed it. We pushed that episode back and later and later. But then we had a lot of fun, actually.
Okay, I got like literally almost clinically sunburned this last week.
Oh, yeah.
So I literally was like incapacitated almost.
Yeah.
That's why I had to push things back. Anyway, also, if you join us through our Patreon, the really cool thing is that you can get our episodes early. Yay! So this week on our Patreon too, we're jumping.
We're out of June, but
you know what?
Year,
July 1st, Pride is over.
Yeah.
Gay people are done. We're done.
No homo anymore. Fuck that. No more talk of music theater. But
I thought you were going to talk about this. No.
Oh, we did an episode of the Golden Girls, the competition. This is a pretty classic episode. A lot of memorable lines, but they go bowling. And at the beginning of the episode, Joan brought out some like essay that he wrote in like what grade 4 or something. Oh, no, you were right here. Yeah. Dueling Diva. I don't like the font on that, baby.
Oh, I hate it.
Dueling Divas, Britney versus Madonna, because they're apparently dueling divas according to
I wrote this in sadly my senior year of high school.
Yeah, we met like a year later, but anyway, John pulled that out. I'm like, are you gonna read that whole thing? But then it turned out to be one of the funniest things ever.
So please join. It's $6 a month, and we have a ton of back catalog too. So like you could join for $6 and then never quit.
Oh, don't you fucking dare. We'll call your ass out. And the last thing is email us your sex stories. They're always anonymous unless you really want your name to be out there. But some of them are dirty and nitty gritty and gross and hilarious, and we love them all. So send them in.
One thing I did want to mention was because we reached 500 subscribers. We are now able to have membership through here. So that's like our Patreon. If you're a person who's afraid of Patreon, you could join our membership here. It's like basically the exact same thing. You get to watch our videos, all of them. It's $10 a month. But we also have been having some wonderful support from some of you guys so much, and we're so grateful. We've had super thanks, super stickers, all that ish. And like, I'm just so grateful for you.
You can send them now if you want. We'll shout you out, but you really
don't. You help us keep the lights on.
Help us keep the lights on. I gotta save up for the Stampede. Let's get into some
Amanda
hot
needs
topics.
to buy her food at the Stampede.
Oh, I'm gonna get gross. I need to figure out where all the accessible bathrooms are immediately for when I get the bubbles. Here we go.
Ooh, I was wondering if you were going to cut it off there. I really did.
Well, I did.
I'm proud of you. Guys, if you didn't know, she's back.
I thought we were kind of rid of her, but then
I thought we had a few moments.
We had a couple weeks without her.
But she's now exploring the furry community, is what it seems.
Oh, is that?
Jojo Siwa is back, and this is her at NYC Pride. She's, I believe, really trying to like be a Miley Cyrus, like with the teddy bears and stuff. It's just not working, and I'm just bugged. One thing is, she did take a little trip to one of our favorite places, Ellen Stardust.
Oh my god!
And she did the Karma dance in person, and these are just some screenshots. If you see, there's the squat part where she does the arm things like this, and this is the infamous.
Oh my god! How many people when I lived in New York were like, "You should work there"? Like, have you met me?
Here's my problem. Is Jojo Siwa, like, I understand the idea that like all press is good press or whatever, like all attention is good attention, but like to what end, girl? To what end?
I want to root for her so bad, but it keeps getting worse and worse. And then Jody sent us something yesterday. Jody has like a group text going with the three of us where she only sends us this and like one or two other really specific things. And she'll bombard us with it. And this week was JoJo. And the last thing she said, I forget what it was, but I was like, I really hated watching that because it went on and she was like screaming at a fan who booed her or something.
She's yelling. Okay, so yes.
And then she put a rose down her pants.
Okay, that's what I have here set up for us. So
great.
She starts yelling at someone who's booing her. She's like, who the fuck is booing? Why are you booing me? Like, I'm a bad girl. Anyway. And she's like, someone throws a rose on stage, right? And she takes the rose. And I feel like you can just, I think one of the struggle things is here is that none of this feels natural. And it feels like she's like, you're watching the what do you call it? The hamster wheel
on the wheel,
like, be like, okay, what am I gonna do to be provocative right now? So someone throws her roses. She pulls a rose out. She pulls the front of her high-waisted panty things up, shoves the rose down in there, which you can see in this photo, and then
she grabs. She keeps doing that. Does she think she has a penis? Because she grabs her crotch all the time.
She's grabbing her vagina, though.
Well, I know that, but it's so girls don't do that. That's not like a flex for us.
Well, I'm not gonna get conspiracy theorist here, but if you're following my thought process of conspiracy theorist, you'll understand where I'm going. Anyway, I'm gonna leave it at that.
The rose thing, though, too. I'm like, oh, you're so shocking. Like, it's just annoying.
You put a rose down your panties. Yeah. And then she isn't even, to me, like, the way she grabbed her vagina, though, is so, like, flat hand, like, mechanical. There's, like, it's not, like, she doesn't even look like she knows how, like, what she, like, it's just weird.
She really takes a big chunk of it. Yeah.
It's just so, like...
awful. And then Jody said, like, she's like, I feel the worst for the backup dancers who have to be, like... Because this is how I feel about totally. Yeah. This is how I felt about stop taking pictures right now. The first thing that's Patti LuPone in Gypsy infamously being recorded, throwing out a photographer who was hired there to take promotional photos, and she's like, "Who do you think you are?" The people that I thought about the most was like the people backstage that have been there all night doing this show. We're almost at the end. We're literally in the last 3 minutes of the show, and now Patti has you are about to take your makeup off. And now this bitch is gonna go on this rant, and then she restarts the whole song, and now it's a whole thing.
Oh, I would have loved that. Patty. I'm sure I would have loved that. Amanda was not privy to the remainder of JoJo's performance because here's what happened. The teddy bears on her boobs and in her hair, you guys, check the hair again because that is not hair. That's teddy bears attached to her head that look like hair buns.
It looks like Mrs. Lovett.
Attached. Two bears come out in costume, okay? Because JoJo is premiering her new song, okay? They come out during the new song. They get behind her. And this is while the new song is playing. JoJo's not singing the new song. No. She's standing there while the new song plays over nothing. The bears go behind her, and then they give her a reach around.
Okay, but again, is that supposed to shock me? This is so weird. Also, Amanda, hello, welcome. You're only 13 minutes late and 50 seconds, and you really didn't miss that much.
You actually probably are we're actually getting into.
Yeah, you started at the right time.
You finally actually
missed all the bullshit.
This is the perfect time to join us. She got the reach around, and I just am wondering why. And what I don't get is just because someone says they're gay doesn't mean they need to be booked at Pride festivals.
Yeah,
please.
But is her audience very similar to Tom Sandoval's audience?
I don't think she has an audience, truthfully, because I think Tom Sandoval's audience is mostly women who are horny for him and don't care that he's a cheater and all of that. I really do. I don't think it's people trolling him. I don't think people waste their money.
Because if I went, when we go to the brunch, I feel like me and Justine definitely will be half trolling and half fangirling out.
I think that's different. I think that brunch is different than a Tom Sandoval and the Most Extras concert.
I would totally go to one of those
to go to.
Can I say something really quickly, by the way? You know how I had that job interview today for like that weird like, dog job? I'm like talking to this guy. He's like a dog guy, a dog trainer. So they're always a little like more strange than normal, you know. So we're talking and it's a standing interview. So I didn't know what to do with my hands the whole time. I'm just like, can we like sit or something?
Okay, continue.
Because he was like showing me around. It doesn't matter. Halfway through, and I'm kind of over it. And I'm like halfway through this, I'm looking at him and I'm like, is this guy like hot or is he like not hot? And I'm like, what? What's this? And then and then my face broke into this huge smile. And I could tell he noticed, like, why did she just start smiling? Because this guy was Tom Sandoval. He sounded like him and he looked like him. He was. If Tom Sandoval was a dog trainer in Calgary, this would be this guy interviewing me today.
Okay, you need to go get a picture. You need to introduce.
It's on the website, and I zoomed in on the website, and I looked. I'm like, yeah, he does look like Tom.
What I'll say is a concert at a Pride performance that JoJo is doing. Those people just paid to go to Pride, and you get the concert included. So, like, that's not an audience. That's like people who were at New York City Pride and already were going to see other things, drag queens, all that. And they clearly, I mean, maybe people are out there living for it, but I again say to what end with the bad publicity? Yeah. Anyway, if you haven't had enough of Bears, The Bear premiered. And now I don't watch this ish, but Amanda loves
it. You would like it at restaurants.
From what I've heard, season 3 is bad.
Who did you hear that from?
All over TikTok is saying that season 3 of The Bear is bad.
I think
that's a general consensus.
No, I think that I like hated the last episode. Like I was just very that the whole time watching it, like, okay. And then it I don't really, I'm not going to give away anything because it literally just dropped, but it's a good watch. I like that it gives everyone's kind of featured. Last season, there was this big episode called Forks where Ebon, the guy that won the Emmy, he had kind of his own episode and it was kind of a bottle episode and he won and he was just really good. And it was kind of the best episode of the season. So everyone kind of got one of those this year. This season, Jamie Lee Curtis is back and she has an amazing episode. So like, I feel like the Emmys are just going to be they're all going to be competing against each other. Everyone
for like standalone episodes where they each get a thing to do.
They all kind of have their own like little feature thing. But my favorite one is this one, Tina's episode. Okay, like she is honestly like she's like I think the best actress on the show. And she gets her own episode. It's very much written for everyone to be super empathetic, but the way it ties together at the end of the episode, there's just this really great scene where just two people are sitting and talking for like 10 minutes and it's so good. And like, I want her to like, she's my front runner. I don't know. Even you could just watch that episode. You would be bawling. In that episode. And you don't need to know anything about it for context at all.
I probably won't watch it. But
anyway, I loved it, but the last episode was very like it seemed like it was a lot of it was the restaurant industry kind of jerking itself off, and I feel like the first 2 seasons was they kind of bordered on that, like they towed the line of that, but I feel like they've slowly tiptoed a little bit over more toward like chefs, restaurants, and I'm a chef. Oh, it was just very that. And then the way it ended was like I felt like I was watching the finale of The Sopranos. It's like, what?
Oh, really? It just cut off or something?
Basically. I mean, that's not really giving away any spoilers whatsoever, but like literally nothing is really wrapped up. So it was just a complete like edging cock tease for 10 episodes.
That's one of the issues. I'm sorry, TV shows should not be 8 to 10 episodes. Fuck off with that.
I'm more worried about the fact that because now we're doing like Golden Girls, well, girls transition out of this, but back in the day, there'd be a season, and then the next season there'd be 2 seasons in 1 year. Like Sister Wives used to be 2 seasons a year, and now it's just every year. Sometimes you're waiting 2 years until another season comes back.
Well, I think that there was a recent thing about Bridgerton or something where people
I can't get into that either.
Yeah, but people were upset that Shonda Rhimes said that she needed like a bunch of extra time to do the next season of Bridgerton, and people are like, you need that much time to make 8 episodes of fucking Bridgerton. They used to put 24 episodes out a year for a show, and 24 episodes, that's 6 months of television.
Because we were discussing like, are we going to continue with Designing Women? And I was like, well, we could just finish out season 1, but that's still like a year from now. Like
season
that's how many
episodes of Designing Women will take us 2 years to get.
That is crazy.
Just based on the way we do it.
And Euphoria is still indefinitely, like they're still going to do
done, right?
No, it's indefinite still. So I mean, it's ridiculous. Keep your shows running, keep them coming. So anyway, that was good. Gillian Jacobs does come back. It's good. It's a good scene. She has a little feature. Jamie Lee Curtis's episode is good. Anyway,
well,
that was The Bear. Let me know if you guys like it.
Right. It's time for Drag Race, baby. Let's get this shit out of the way. Now, Amanda and I had some conflicting feelings. She does hate someone a lot, it seems. My goodness, she hates Nina West. But it's okay.
No, me erasing me. So I was looking at the comments.
Yeah.
I texted you. I said, okay. And this was a completely honest assessment. I was like, I think that I've been gaslit by all of our like short, the comments for the short videos are so different than the comments for our actual videos that we care about. People are freaking crazy. I'm like, I think I've been gaslit into disliking Nina West because she's like, I don't like her anymore. They've convinced me that I don't like her.
Because people try and stick up for her.
They stick up, well, not even that, but they accuse us of not liking her. So now I'm watching and I'm just like listening to what they're saying. And I'm like, yeah, she is annoying. She sucks.
I definitely thought, okay, so this episode like starts out where they do a stupid mini challenge, I think. And then they do the challenge is that they each need to make an outfit based on a box of shit they get that has to do with a RuPaul song. So great. Another design challenge. I don't know that we need another design challenge, but it's okay. And it was very hodgepodgey, the way that they kind of threw this together.
Yeah.
Right?
It was, well, the design challenges are very much more geared toward just the workroom drama.
Yeah.
Like that's because all you're doing is watching them work on stuff.
And I think that often there's cool outfits, but I think this episode, a lot of these were very basic, surprisingly.
Okay, no, I actually was really impressed with a lot of the outfits, and I actually agreed with the judges on a lot.
I think that something that this season's struggling with, though, is that the judges pretty much only give positive feedback.
True.
And like, I think that they would have torn a couple of these people apart in a normal season. Now, what annoyed me here in the beginning is that Nina is chosen last, and Mama, she's chosen last to choose her shit, and she is panini pressed beyond a belief. Thank you, Gypsy Rose Lee. Isn't that her name, Gypsy Rose Lee? No, Blanchard. Gypsy Rose Blanchard.
Yes.
Wasn't she
very different? Although actually not really that different. Both of them, they both kind of were.
It's weird. There's a weird similarity there.
Ooh, yeah, very much. Wow.
So Nina was freaking pressed that, you know what I realized I don't like about this background, Amanda, is that it says Patreon on it.
Oh, well, it's a freebie. You're never going to get over that now.
This is a no, I'm going to be staring at it the whole time, but it's okay. Nina was really upset that she was chosen last and thought that someone would have thrown her a bone because they know she can't sew and shit, and they would have given her the better box. But like, ultimately, these were just all boxes of fabric. So I'm not really understanding what you're so upset about. You just got a box of fabric like everyone else. So what, you are upset that you got black fabric and red fabric? Like, okay. She was upset that her fabric was sheer and she didn't want to show off her body. But I'll say, that is the end of my bitching about Nina this episode, because I think that she turned it.
Okay, I forget what she looked like. I really only remember Roxy.
So let's go through the runways, baby.
Okay.
First, we have Angeria, Paris, Van Michaels. Now, I'm tired of this wavy hair shit.
Okay, I've never seen it before, so I liked it. But then they said, "Oh, this is something that she wears a lot," and I was like,
"Well, a lot of drag queens are doing this as
I actually really like it.
I think it looks cool, but I also am like, okay. I think the outfit was really. I feel like this would have been a safe to a bottom safe in regular seasons.
Yeah,
because it's just kind of basic. And they even try and do this whole thing where they're like, even though it's a bodysuit, you really made it more than a bodysuit. And it's like,
do you think the shift happened where the judges started being where they really started checking themselves a bit more?
I don't.
Do you think that happened when Adore walked out of All
Not
Stars
at all.
too? Oh, really? Because that was like a whole. I feel like I wish I would have seen background what happened there with that whole situation.
Well, they made Michelle get out of her.
Oh yeah,
her place at
you
like
can
5
tell.
a.m. or something.
Like one eye was still like closed.
I don't think so at all, because actually I've been watching these recaps that they do at Roscoe's in Chicago, where the different queens from the episodes are going and they talk. And Chanel recently was at one and she said, they dogged me out a lot and they didn't show any of that. And and I think it's because they're trying to make it more like uplifting. And since they don't kick anyone off, they're like, well, why kick anyone when they're down if they're not going to get kicked off anyway? Like, so kind of, I thought this was fine. I was underwhelmed. I mean, I was whelmed. How about that? And then we have Vanjie, who I love Vanjie, but again, like,
this would have been red.
This is a jacket and like a tube skirt thing. And I don't know that is the jacket. I think it looks cool. Could you hear that?
No.
Great. I think it looks cool, but I just think it's kind of basic. And I've heard some weird spoilers for what's going to happen in these last couple episodes. And I'm going to leave it at that. And it was based on Kitty Girl. So I was like, okay. Then we had Roxy, who I liked this.
I loved it.
I think it was good.
This is what I'm going to wear to the Calgary Stampede on Thursday.
Okay, I'm sounding like a hater probably, but I definitely thought this was like expected. I was not surprised by this in any way, and maybe I am being a hater. Someone will be like, why do you have to be surprised? She's drag excellence or what the fuck ever.
I love it because I think Cowboy can come off super costumey, and she made it look so good, and her body looked so good.
Yeah, her body looks amazing.
Oh my gosh! Like,
and I agree about the coming off costumey, but I feel like this looks kind of costumey. But
I think she made it. I mean, I could never do any of this. So
now here's Chanel.
Okay.
She was the Christmas one. This one would have definitely gotten her kicked off.
100%.
She would have been 1,000% in the bottom and likely gone home. No offense, Chanel, but I'm confused because she is the Christmas queen, right? You saw those clips of her like house where every inch of it is covered in Christmas shit?
This looks like that. What was that weird lip sync where afterward RuPaul was like, ladies, I have to admit, that made me uncomfortable. That was Shangela
and Venus Delight.
Yeah, Venus Delight.
It was the Christmas episode. But what I'm not getting about this is, I feel like Chanel could have done more.
Yeah, of course.
Like, why isn't there more Christmas shit? Like, put a train full, like a Christmas tree train or some shit. Bitch, what the hell is going on? She was
checked out at this point. Yeah, she's checked out. But then the workroom was all about him, like really trying to pull it out of her. I don't know, some kind of storyline.
That you're amazing.
Yeah, whatever.
The next one baffled me slightly, and that was Got Mick. They acted like Got Mixed was like the next revolution of fashion, that this was couture, and this was like, looked as though it had been designed and workshopped for months by an atelier in France.
You got like a horrible picture of this though, because
this is how it looked.
No, I know, but
she was slouching the whole time.
Okay.
She looked as though she had put a corset on, wrapped it in gold fabric, and then braided 2 pieces of fabric, a piece of gold and yellow or gold and silver fabric, and then just wrapped it around herself. And the bag looks busted too. So I am confused and flummoxed. I'm sure when I post this as a short, someone's going to eat me alive because people have been living for this. Like everything I've seen, every recap has been like, oh my God, this is amazing.
And I honestly had forgotten.
One thing I will say is in my, if you guys didn't know, open that doll, check out my TikToks. I am like a minor doll like collector now. This hair was giving me Frankie Stein hair from Monster High. Amanda doesn't know what I'm talking about, but if anyone out there likes this hair and knows what I'm talking about, it's Frankie Stein from Monster High. Now, Max, are you supporting me by saying people would gag over anything?
No, I think they're saying...
I think you're saying that like people were like living for this and maybe it wasn't warranted. Fingers crossed, because I honestly thought there was no way she was going to be towards the top, and there was like a chance she was going to be top 2. Then we had Georgia.
It's a great picture.
Terrible transition. Right, this outfit, fine. I think she would have also been in the bottom. Like she's like in Rent. I think she looks like she could be an anime character or something with the hair, but. Like the outfit just looks like any stripper outfit you'd get on the side of the street. Like went on my street, in Phoenix. Okay, thanks, Max. On my street, in Phoenix, there's like, now I live off Thomas Road, which depending on which patch you're in, there's questionable things around you. There are fully like one of the places I drive by every day. It's called Silver City, baby. And it's literally stripper outfits on mannequins like outside the front of this
they have a couple of those on Steinway Street in New York right by the Planet Fitness, and it was called like Jubilations or something.
That's what this reminds me of, is like I could get that there. Now, good for Georges. I know they all helped each other, so again, that's why this season is somewhat of like, it's kind of like, okay, who's going to win? I don't know. I couldn't have predicted the people that they...
Well, I'm edging to get to Nina because I honestly forgot what she was wearing.
Well, what about Plastique? Plastique was one of the top 2. They ate this up alive too. And I felt, I'm going to sound like a damn hater. I know it, but...
I thought her face looked really good.
I thought it was fine.
Yeah, I wasn't blown away. Not that I could ever do this, of course, but I just... the only thing I was wowed by was Roxy. I guess is what I'll say.
This surprised me because they even had Jeremy Scott, who's a designer, was one of the judges this week. And he said, this train as the train is so innovative and everything. And I thought, I feel like I've seen that. So for that to be the argument that like this train was so innovative, I do like that they clocked that the fabric was like falling off. They did say the lining was falling apart, which thank you, because it did look. I feel like she could have just not had the train and just had this dress with the corset work on the top and been perfectly fine.
Yeah.
I actually think the train part junks it up a little bit.
I actually might agree with you. Yeah. Without the train, she'd look really good. Yeah.
Okay. Now, I think she is stunning, amazing. Obviously, I heard some interesting spoilers though, so just wait.
Okay.
All right.
You need to tell me.
Here's Nina.
Okay. Yeah.
I actually thought they were going to put Nina in the top 2. They were making us think that. Now, I'm not saying this is amazing. I wasn't stunned by this, but for Nina, and comparatively,
she came out, and I was like, "Oh, yikes!" But then when I realized like what song it was, because what was the song? It was like
Cha Cha Bitch.
Okay, so then I was like, "Okay, well at least like that fits."
Yeah,
but
you thought this was bad?
I did not. Yeah, I didn't love it at all. Well, because all other queens have gotten red for so many seasons about just throwing a corset on over a dress.
Okay, I would agree on that part, but I like what she did with the corset because she did like the matching fabrics. There's a bit of an idea here. Thanks, Max. You're right. It is. You're right. But I really I feel like every week I'm absolutely obliterating Nina. And maybe that's why I went in this week just being like, I thought this was okay. Now Amanda texts me.
This is when I text
she's like, why is Nina's very nostrily, isn't she?
Oh, well, you weren't supposed to repeat that. But yes, her nostrils are always very flared. I know this is coming from somebody with a schnoz, so.
Oh, no, I don't think she has a big nose or anything. I do believe now, as a part of I think stage training in my, I've done this. You go look in a mirror when you do your facial expressions. Have you ever done that?
No, but I mean, I feel like watching my hideous self back on these lives or on when I'm editing stuff has given me a good indication on, that's not what you think you look like. You didn't look as cute saying that as you.
Agreed.
You know?
I need to just be sitting like this and not moving the whole time.
Yeah.
To look okay. I'll just
certain angles I've just taken out of my entire being anyway, but yes, all right, great.
I wanted to I thought this was pretty good for Nina.
Yeah,
unfortunately I thought overall I thought that it was nothing made me go oh my god, in some design challenges.
Okay,
yeah, that's all you thought. Now there was a little bit of a controversy this week associating with the lip sync and etc. Do you ever watch the pit stop with Trixie Mattel? Well, the pit stop on
I get a lot of clips on my algorithm.
Trixie Mattel is the host this year, and she's hosted off and on. Trixie, okay, now this is what Roxy was wearing this outfit.
Okay.
And had this hair for the lip sync. And Trixie basically said she hated her hair, thought she looked bald, hated the outfit, and thought it was completely not appropriate for this song at all, and that she looked terrible, basically.
She hated her hair?
Yeah. She said, Trixie said all that. Now,
literally my hair right now.
People sent Roxy clips of this, I guess, because Roxy put this on Twitter.
Thank you for the
pit stop clips. Oh, you can read it. You read it.
Yet again, I don't care what she thinks. She hasn't been Team Me since day one on that show. It's evident. Everyone's entitled to have their opinion, and that's hers. Y'all lived, and that's what mattered to me. At Trixie Mattel, heard loud and clear, babes. So Roxy's mad at Trixie
because she read her about all this stuff, and even who was the co-host? Someone was the co-host this week, and the co-host almost felt I felt you could tell the co-host was are you fucking kidding, Trixie? But couldn't really go there. It almost was a weird interaction because she was reading Roxy down so hard. But I thought this was the best lip sync of the entire season so far.
Yeah, I liked it a lot.
I thought Roxy looked fucking amazing. I'm sorry. I loved the outfit. I loved the hair. I mean, I'm not saying I love the outfit. I wouldn't want to wear the outfit. No, I love it.
It reminded me of Meet Me in the Ladies Room from season 3 a little bit. It had the same kind of energy where she was messing with her nails.
I thought she embodied the song here, and it was all I wanted to look at was her. Oh my god, Justine. I suck at taking criticism too, so I get it.
Nobody likes taking criticism.
I get it.
All right. Well,
now,
anyway,
I think Roxy looked pretty fucking awesome. She ends up winning. Oh, spoiler alert! She wins the lip sync, and that's more money for her charity, which I'm happy about because it is a local charity to her community, which I think is really awesome. And that, me friends, is our Drag Race recap.
Sweet. All right, what's next? What's next on the docket here?
Now I'm gonna talk even more. So if you hate my voice, sorry, y'all. Because we're getting into the Bravo breakdown. I did start making an animation way much too late. And then
I keep thinking about making an animation for Teen Mom, but like even talking about Teen Mom still triggers me so much because it puts me back in the headspace of when I had that podcast and it was just such a different life. So I feel weird. So I'm probably not going to make one. Maybe
your life is so much better.
Maybe I'll get really stoned one night and then I'll have one at like 4 a.m. Okay, what's going on here? Kelly Bensimon.
So there's been a lot of things happening. I want to. Yes, we all know Kelly Bensimon. She was on RHONY Legacy recently.
I didn't know that. Okay.
Well, right after she had filmed the Ultimate Girls Trip, RHONY Legacy trip, her man proposed to her. And as of this article here came out December 5th, 2023. So I'm just using this as, December 5th, 2023. Kelly Bensimon says she's planning 2 weddings with fiance Scott Littner. Why have just one?
How exhausting to have a friend like that.
Well, if you were her friend, what I'll say is, luckily for you, 4 days before her ceremony, she decided to cancel the wedding.
My kids are my priority. Okay.
Her kids are her priority. Now, her kids are 26 and 23, I think, or 26 and 24. Now, there is another layer to this because more has now come out. Originally, people were thinking that Kelly didn't want to get a prenup. Okay. She didn't want to get a prenup. But
hey, Amanda, Amanda's really good with editing. She said she'll make me a Teen Mom bumper.
Ooh.
Do it. Make it as salacious as you want. All right. Anyway, continue with Kelly Bensimon. Thanks, Amanda.
You're Bensimon.
All right. Yeah.
Kelly Bensimon, who canceled her wedding 4 days before it, saying her kids are her priority. It was originally thought that she didn't want to sign a prenup, which makes sense with the idea of my kids are my priority. She wants maybe her money to go to her kids or whatever. It does come out that so Kelly says, this is a chunk of an article. Kelly Bensimon is known by fans of the Bravo world for having a bit of an eccentric life. Now she baffled them while she canceled her wedding. When she canceled her wedding, just days, well, it says weeks here, but it was 4 days before it was supposed to happen. The former star of Real Housewives, blah, 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 about her decision to call off. Her fiance, Scott Littner, refused to sign a prenup, and so she refused to marry him because of it, which given Bensimon's first marriage, where it left her, she has a right to protect herself.
Yeah.
And this is Kelly. Ultimately, I couldn't even pretend to do a voice of hers. Ultimately, my decision is nobody's business. But I understand that there is speculation and a gossip, and I want to put an end to all of it. To be clear, he refused to sign a prenuptial agreement, and I refused to marry him. Full stop.
Good. So, I mean, absolutely.
Good for her.
Yes. Red flags.
Good for her. You know who else who didn't make them sign a prenup was Teresa Giudice didn't make Louis sign a prenup. And now I think they're thinking Louis' businesses are going to
Remember Sheena almost didn't make Brock sign a prenup? She was like, I guess we could.
You're an idiot. But I also don't think Sheena has that much money to begin with.
Yeah, but Brock really is clearly with her for the money.
He's like a deadbeat dad.
And a domestic abuser.
They named their daughter Summer Moon, and his daughter in Australia is named
crazy. Winter. I know, that's crazy.
Do you know the ultimate? Sheena chose to have a C-section on the day of Brock's other child's birthday. So both of the daughters have the same birthday, and they're named Summer and Winter, and he abandoned. Anyway.
But dad's going to just spend it with Summer over in America. It's the ex-wife's fault, obviously. She sounds like a huge bitch.
I did try and I watched New Jersey right before we got on here. It was boring as hell. There's nothing happening. And I'm tired of Jen Aiden and I'm tired of Teresa Giudice. So end of story on that. Then Dubai, Yonville, who knows? I'm struggling. Now they are saying that Real Housewives of OC is coming back, like I think in a week or maybe 2 weeks. And allegedly, this season is amazing, allegedly. But I think it's kind of annoying because this season they're hinging on. So Shannon Bedore is one of the Real Housewives of Orange County.
Oh, I know who Shannon Bedore is.
Okay, good. Her husband or her fiance husband or something, John Jansen, left her.
Yeah.
And is now with Alexis Bellino, Jesus Jugs,
that's right.
who used to be on Real Housewives of OC. And now this season, they're bringing Alexis back on the show with John Jansen, her man, and they're leaving Shannon just so that
Poor Shannon.
That's my problem.
Bad for her. I've always liked Shannon.
Now she did get you did see that she had a DUI where she crashed into a house with her dog in the car. Oh. Does that change your opinion of her?
No, I mean, honestly,
she had a dog in the car.
It is a miracle that I don't have any DUIs. It is a miracle.
Okay, she had a dog in the car though. I thought that might send you over the edge.
Okay, no, that's her own. That's her own.
Okay, struggle. I agree.
Although she can definitely afford to hire like but she probably thinks that she's fine. She's probably.
I agree that it's completely ridiculous that they're totally setting up Shannon to be like. So what? The whole season's going to just be Shannon taking shit more and more,
apparently
like, pushing Shannon to the brink of like going insane.
She's already kind of been.
They've already done that. They've already pushed her over the edge before.
Yeah,
and she's kind of reeled it back in, and now they're like, you know what we need again? We need Shannon unhinged. I do. I mean, I'm going to give a little snippet of Below Deck Med.
Okay.
Now we're following the saga of Jono, the gay chef. I really, of course, support like anyone who's gay doing something. Not anyone, but most gay people who are trying to do shit. Most people, like, if you're like the gay chef on the Brought Below Deck, and he's the first gay chef on there. If you're the first of that, go off, sis. But here's the problem. I asked Amanda what she thought this was.
Okay, well, now I'm gonna take back my first said tuna steak. Okay, I feel like it's a pastry of some kind, right?
Okay,
like a brownie cup. It's pastry.
It is a chocolate lava cake.
Oh yeah, okay, that's what it looks like. It looks like an upside down.
This is what happened when they cut into the chocolate lava cake, is that there's nothing inside of it because it was like basically burnt. I believe that poor Chef Jono is not long for this boat on Below Deck Med, and so we'll have to see what happens.
All right, because sorry about that.
They didn't like that lava cake. They aren't liking his spices. They got problems with Chef Jono's ish. Now, to end our little Bravo breakdown and lead us into a beautiful wormhole. This bitch is back, and she like. Ugh.
Hang on, I want to flip my camera so I can actually see.
Oh,
can see. There we go. Okay, so I've been listening to. I've been listening to this like crazy.
Ew, how?
Rachel goes around
this for 5 minutes.
This is
Rachel Leviss's podcast. Raquel Leviss, Rachel. She now wants to go by Rocky, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah,
music festival.
Okay, I do want to say something about this. Okay, like I don't know why I just started listening to it, but I was like, I feel like I want to know the nitty gritty and the drama. Well, no, that's not even what happened. I had listened to a bunch. Remember when I went through my other wormhole where I just wanted to know everything about the Scandival. So I was listening to everyone's podcast right in that 2 weeks. So I just wanted to hear everyone bitch about it. But so I had listened to a couple of Rachel's things, but I'm like, I guess I'll listen to this because a new episode came out. I'm subscribed, and the new episode she came out with, it was about like dating, and she was kind of taking accountability, and I want to say is very well spoken. I feel like through the podcast she's developed a very good way of speaking. She does seem smarter than you would have thought. I actually think I'm kind of turning more on like, yeah, she's a human. Like I'm more on her side. And I wanted to make this point.
What
did everyone want to happen here? Because okay, so they fucked up. They did all this public humiliation, all of this. She did everything that anyone in short of driving her own car off the Grand Canyon and killing herself. What exactly did we want her to do? She went away. She dropped out of the show. She broke up with Tom Sandoval. She got professional help. She stayed longer for professional help. She did exactly like, what more can anyone really ask of her? I feel like you're going to have a retort here, but you can't argue with that. She did every single thing we would have wanted her to do.
I'm loading the video.
Okay, well, okay.
First of all, the professional help she went to get was like,
don't say it was a spa. No, it was not a spa. Okay. I believe her on all of these episodes because she really, the way she
of course, but she also lied to her best friend about fucking her best friend's man for months, right?
I actually believe that they really weren't that good friends because all of those girls on that show call each other best friends. She still lied
to a girl to her face about all of that. So I don't believe anything this woman says. Sorry about it.
I believe she's being very honest.
Here's my problem with her is that she bitches about being taken advantage of, people talking about her, this and that, then go off into the night and shut the fuck up. If you have a problem with people talking about
to be out there,
we don't need her
side of the story.
There is no side of her story.
She talks a lot of shit about Tom Sandoval, which I don't like.
What's her side of her story? I was too dumb and I was taken advantage of.
Yeah.
You continued it for months.
Well, I think she was coming out of a lot of trauma from dating James, which you cannot argue with. That must have been awful.
I understand.
Okay.
But
I'm not saying I like Rachel or I would ever trust her around my man.
She refused to go back to Vanderpump Rules, right? So that she could, because she didn't want to be in the limelight. She didn't want people to talk about her and whatever. And now she's decided she's instead going to make her own podcast where she can just say whatever she wants. She can, with no one retorting, no one saying anything about it.
But you don't listen to it because she'll read at the beginning of the episodes. She'll read like really negative comments and be like, yeah, no, I'll take that in. I will take that into account. And she's been improving. So all I want to say is just like, I was like, huh. That's that's my only reaction is like, oh, all right.
My reaction is that that's just not the kind of podcast I want to listen to or think should exist. That's not entertaining to me.
Well, she needs to get paid somehow.
I don't want to listen to the other woman whine about how she was so used when she was the other woman.
Do you not agree that Tom Sandoval is more the problem, though, that he did?
I 1000% agree she was probably taken advantage of somewhat. Yeah. But again, I don't need to listen to you talk at me for 24 hours for hours at a time about how you're the victim when you could have just not fucked him.
Though. She doesn't talk about how she's a victim. She takes accountability. Anyway, you're not going to listen to it.
She takes full accountability.
I'm not saying anyone else should listen to this. I just wanted to make that point that she did all the stuff that she went away.
I'm fine with
that. She dropped out. She broke up with him.
I don't think for me, I don't think I ever asked her to do anything.
I don't love that she's suing Ariana though. That was not really cute.
From her.
Yeah. Anyway, it's a good podcast. You don't have to listen to it, but it's been.
If you wanted to leave Vanderpump Rules and be done with public life, be done with public life, sweetie.
Oh no, she's getting doctors on, and they'll assess her. I'm sure she should have Dr. Drew on, even though he's on Tom Sandoval's side. Dr. Drew has said that Tom Sandoval is not a narcissist, and I'm like, well, you're a terrible doctor. Then,
I'm going to sound like a huge hater here, but like, I wish doctors would spend their time on people who are like ill, like dying, and like real problems instead of Rachel going rogue. I'm sick of it, y'all.
You're sick of it. You've never even heard about her.
Sick of the concept. The concept that Rachel needs an entire like podcast to like fix her life, and she gets all this help and all these specialists, and there's people on the street who can't even get a freaking doctor's appointment and they're dying. I'm over it. I'm sick of it.
God. I think you need to.
Homelessness has now been made completely illegal. They're going to go round up homeless people and put them in jail and then make them into forced labor.
I think you're supposed to say unhomed, unhoused. But let's move into Teen Mom. I think you need to relax.
The good thing is your turn. I need to.
Okay, but you have to actually listen to me when I'm talking about Teen Mom. All right.
Great.
let me blow through this. Here, Teen Mom, the next chapter. Now, nothing really that. Oh no, this was interesting. Sorry, last week sucked. Here's what happened. Mackenzie, do you know who Mackenzie is?
No.
Okay, it doesn't really matter. She's the one that has. She's the one that got kicked off for saying, actually, she's not in this picture.
Oh, okay.
But she got kicked off last year for being a racist, and then now she's back with the Jamaican boyfriend, and they're gonna get engaged. And she already has 3 kids with her like loser ex. And one of her kids like took a shit in her producer's like garage a few years ago. He was like on camera, like you don't see it, but it's like, your kid just shit in the garage. Anyway, so her and this guy are super happy. So obviously the next step is time to go get my tubes untied. She made one smart decision her whole life, getting those tubes tied after 3 kids. And now she goes back and they're like, well, you're really not supposed to get them untied. It's like it really reduces your risks anyway of like even having it. Like you probably won't even get pregnant. And so now they're going to go IVF. So
no one needs more than 3 children.
Oh, but this new guy from Jamaica wants them.
I don't care. No one needs more than 3 children. This is the episode where everyone's gonna just unsubscribe and like be like, John hates everyone, but
Ashley, the girl right next to you here in this picture, she we all hate her, and she's not with her ex anymore, and she's just boring, and all the other cast they don't talk to her like on the little fake FaceTime things they have. She does not, there's no contact.
She's the one who's like literally directly next to me.
Yeah.
Okay.
She took her daughter swimming lessons, and then her and her mom talked about, I hope that she doesn't get too brave and jumps into the water without her life jacket on. Yeah, I guess we'll see. That was the whole storyline, is watching her daughter take swimming lessons and then talking about it. It's like, what are you doing on my TV? Kate and Tyler discuss going to therapy with April, her alcoholic mother. And that's pretty much it. Brianna, I remember last week, her mom, Roxanne, brought out that caboodle of her methadone.
Oh, yeah. Okay, that was like the big thing. Didn't they leave it on a cliffhanger?
They did. So now we find out, because it was like, oh my God. It ends with Brittany. So now Brittany, so Roxanne comes in, she's like, my methadone, and she's wearing these motorcycle gloves randomly. Okay. It's like really, it's like,
so did they save this till the end of this episode?
No, this was like this was like the main storyline here. So now this has just happened, the methadone thing. And now Brittany, the sister who's about to get married, she's the one that set her off last week being like, well, if you're going to be like this, you can't come to my wedding. And that's when Roxanne went out and got the caboodle. So immediately after, they're like, oh, and Brianna's like sad. She's like, I can't believe mom was on meth. And then Brittany's like, yeah, I still don't think I want you at my wedding if you're going to do all this. You're doing too much. Sets Roxanne off even more. And then,
because originally she wasn't going to be invited to their wedding. That was it.
Well, Brittany's like, you're out of control, and like your mood swings are insane. And like, I think Roxanne like threw water on her at a restaurant like the week before. So her saying, I don't want you at my wedding, possibly, is what made Roxanne go out to her car and bring the methadone in. So now immediately after that, Brittany's like, yeah, so I don't think I want you at my wedding then. So now Roxanne's like, that's so low. That's so low, Brittany. And she goes out to the car, and she like throws, she's sitting in her car and she's on the phone, I think, and she smashes her cell phone into the ground.
Oh my God,
because she's pissed. Yeah, I think she's going through a withdrawal from methadone. And then she goes, fuck you and your sister. That's how that ends. And now Amber's, we remember, I don't know if you remember, but her, we're not sure what the status is on her and New Gary's relationship, but probably not looking good. But this
there haven't been any updates about any of that, right?
No, they've been keeping mum.
Like there's zero updates.
No, but so this episode, this is so hilarious timing wise. They couldn't have planned this better. So he went missing, and then the next episode after that, she wasn't in. So we had a week kind of to forget about it. So that's her first episode back since he went missing. And it's like, hi everyone, this is my new fiance. This is my new boyfriend, Gary. And he's so great. And he makes me feel like a queen. And he's like making tacos. And this is a thing that Amber fucking has done since season 1, is she'll kiss people and she'll go, it's like this big thing. So like they're eating these tacos, and they're like taking bites of tacos, and she's like, give me another kiss. And they're like,
oh dear God.
I'm gonna be sick. I know, I hate it. She mouth kisses like her daughter.
I hate when people eat food within even 1 foot of another person. I'm sorry. When you are sitting on the same side of a booth, I don't care how horny you are. I love him. Trust me. I want to be up on a man 24 hours a day. I'm fine with it. But I'm at a restaurant. I need my space. Food going in, like
it's
eating.
I'm about to do something here.
Now, if you're feeding me a strawberry or something, but if I'm tearing up tacos or like pasta, I'm not kissing
Amber,
you.
it's kissy time for Amber.
Ew.
So Amber
maybe she's
says,
like a feeder.
Ew. Amber says, I mean, it would be a great job for her because she wouldn't have to leave her bed. Amber is worried. So she tells us, he makes me feel like a queen. And she says, right, I think this is in a voiceover. She goes, I'm just getting really nervous because I don't want Gary to be scared off. So Leah.
I'm loving the editing foreshadow. Like, I hope the editors put that in after.
I can almost guarantee you that was already set like that because Amber's already a loose cannon. So it's already a hilarious storyline that Amber's like, I'm worried that he might find out that I'm a fucking psycho. So Leah, the one whose birthday she ruined a couple weeks ago, by bringing no gift and showing
the life that she ruined over the last 16 years. Or 15
yeah, well, she doesn't really see her that much. So anyway, Leah's talking to Gary OG, sexy Gary, we call him.
Big Daddy Gary.
Big Daddy. And Gary's like, so Leah, how's it going? Have you talked to your mom lately? And Leah's like, no. She's like, she has a boyfriend now. So no, I haven't. Because Leah's gotten real cunty. Cunty with a K. And now Gary 2.0, not as sexy Gary, meets with and Amber, go to a like a couples therapist, and they discuss. And she's like, what are you scared of? And Amber's like, yeah. Because Amber's trying to be proactive.
She's going to a couples therapist with a brand new boyfriend?
She's being proactive because she's like, well, he just saw my first manic episode. So I thought it would be good to come in and have a therapy session. And the therapist is like, so Gary, how did you feel when you saw this happening? And Gary and this is how I can tell that he just wanted to be on TV, because he says like the fucking fake thing. He goes, it's just it made me feel like I just wanted to protect her, and it just showed me that everyone else in her life doesn't protect her, so I just felt bad. Like I just wanted to hold on. Fast forward to like 3 weeks ago, where he's like running off in the dead of night in the mountains of North Carolina because he's like, nope.
I cannot understand why any person who has any piece of their right mind would want to be with Amber Portwood.
Well, exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's what we're all saying.
I'm way too fucking wound up today. I want to go on a rampage. Okay, continue.
Well, the last thing then is that Gary says to the therapist, he's like, Amber taught me the signs so that I know when a panic attack is coming on. It's like, I'm like, it's not like it's like a dog that can sense seizures here. He's like, she gave me all the warning signs. The first one is her pupils get really dilated. Like, I don't know if that's so much a sign of her going into a like meltdown, or if that's that she high.
I'm just gonna say,
she on drugs. Gary.
I do not believe that Amber has panic attacks.
Well, not a panic attack, but like a manic episode when she goes to like the dark side, or when she has like a bipolar episode. I think she is
mostly on the dark side, though.
Yeah, no, she definitely has a personality disorder.
The way that she acts in normal instances, what is the dark side then?
Oh, we've seen the dark side when she pushed Gary down the stairs. When she slapped, hatchet. Yeah. Actually, it was a machete. Anyway, that was my Teen Mom wrap up.
My suggestion for Amber would maybe to just not be in a relationship.
Do you want to know what's happening next week, though? Janelle's back. And Janelle, she's like, yeah, so like, I was on the show, Teen Mom, and she's meeting with like a weed dispensary person. And she's like, so on like season 2 or whatever, I said, I like to get high at a certain time of day. And it became like a thing. So like, I want my own brand to be that time of day, weed. Which, I mean... It's like, okay, well, it's 10 years too late, but great. Wait. She wants her own strain of weed that's going to be called like that time of day. Because earlier in the seasons, Barbara's like, "Well, what are you doing? Like, you smoking all this weed?" And Janelle's like, "Oh, I like to get high around this time of day." Yes. So she's taking that from 2012 and is now turning it into a weed strain.
I'm gonna just say,
yeah,
that as a person who does buy weed, Janelle Evans would not be a selling point on weed for me.
Yeah, to me that would indicate like seeds and stems, like trash.
I would
like
think
trashy.
that it's like laced with crack or I don't know.
That too,
like
possibly, yeah.
That doesn't make me want to like chill out thinking about Janelle Evans. And Salu Walloway, I completely agree with this.
The amount that Amber uses her mental illness to excuse her bad behavior is really gross. 100% true. That's really, it's like she was almost, these people, a lot of them are like relieved when they get that diagnosis because then it means that they have to stop working on just being a better person.
I'm not discounting like people's problems like that at all. Trust me, I have my own things that I'm sure I use too.
You actually remind me of Amber a lot. I think that a lot.
I was actually thinking that you remind me of someone.
You better be careful.
Rachel Dratch, I think.
Oh, you fucking.
Isn't that it?
Rachel Dratch or Mr. Bean. I gotten Kathy into Jimmy.
Okay, the Mr. Bean is
100% can see it.
That's 1,000% a hater, though. That is insane.
That was like a friend of mine that said that, just as like, no, like a distant relative of Bean.
I'm usually compared to nice things, or I've also been like where I don't know who they're talking about, but they're talking about someone and I know they're probably someone busted and ugly.
Oh, yeah.
But I have been, someone thought I looked like, what the hell was his name? The guy who makes,
Tom Sandoval. I saw there was a girl that I was like picking up a delivery, and the girl that like gave it to me looked like Lily Gladstone, and then I almost told her that, but then I was like, I don't know if she would she like that? I think that Lily Gladstone
she'd probably be offended.
Well,
I'm offended that Maci ain't paying her taxes. Damn.
Yeah,
I have a $350,000.
Exactly. How does the U.S. government let it get this bad? Because, babe, when I moved to Canada and didn't pay my taxes, they chased me down for like $1,500.
I don't understand this.
I don't. How do they get this bad?
Oh no! Also, and this is being added. This says, "Yikes! Teen Mom stars Maci, Bookout, and Taylor McKinney receive an additional $350,000 federal tax lien added to their already steep tax debt."
Wouldn't you be stressed out all the time? I would be a wreck. I would be anxiety from inside out too.
Because I'm like, because of my other job, I have to pay prepaid taxes.
Yeah, I have to do that now too.
Close to the time, I'm paranoid. I'm like, oh my God, my prepaids are coming up. They do nothing if you don't pay them. You just have to pay it later. It's not like...
Well, yeah, exactly. Yeah. You just pay... Well, yeah,
I'm like, oh my God. I don't think I would even go a day late on paying my taxes. I would think that a SWAT team would come into my house and find me and pull me out.
Mine, I didn't realize how much my taxes would be because I've never paid more than a couple hundred, but then they came to like 10 grand. So I was like, I guess I'm going to have to pay them late. And my mom's like, oh, you'll have to pay interest, Amanda. And the interest is like $100 total. And I was like, okay. So yeah. So then what's the... Calm down, lady.
Now... my biggest fear about getting taxes taken is that someone like would come after me.
Okay, so I want to talk about this.
TSA.
I want to talk about this. Everyone is talking about this. DebzOG, Farrah Abraham's mom. It's 100% her. Justine, right? Teen Mom people. That's her.
I think it looks
because her nostrils are uneven, like that.
Oh, like
this is her.
A nose job
look at that second picture. She definitely clocked the person taking a picture, and she is not thrilled.
I wish I could see the tag.
Yeah, people are trying to zoom in on it. It's her.
In my mind, the fact that she was able to get a TSA job,
exactly.
Like, damn.
Well, that's shocking for one, because she has like I think she has a felony for threatening. She slapped Farrah. She got in a fight with Farrah, and the cops came, and then she like was holding a knife and wouldn't put the knife down.
You know what? If you have a felony, just run for president. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Oh, mic drop over there for Joan. But I want to say, isn't this better than her dressing up in steampunk and doing "I'm DebzOG breaking through"?
I'm
DebzOG.
She's doing an actual job. So,
this is a job, a government job. So this is great.
I'd say what she's doing is better than like people like us making podcasts.
Of course, because this is a government job with like a retirement
benefits
plan. Yes,
a pension.
Good for her. Also, this is like, I feel like this would be a fun job because you could I don't really, for people who like a power trip, I mean, this would be a great job. You could just fuck up somebody's entire day by being like, yeah, you don't look at your picture. Well, that's not scanning. You have to go wait for 2 hours now in the other room. The power trip you could go. One time I forgot my green card in New York, and they made the hoops they made me jump through at the airport. They made it so that I had to, they were like, now run. It was like the end of that Breaking Bad episode. They're like, all right, your flight's leaving in 8 minutes. You better run. That's what the guy said to me. He's like, I could have charged you $800 for this. Anyway, so good for DebzOG breaking through. Living that TSA life.
Is that her song Breaking Through?
It's DebzOG breaking through.
Oh.
I did a whole recap on it on my Patreon. Amanda Loves to Hate Teen Mom, which is now Love to Hate TV.
You did have a breaking, what was that show called? Like I'm DebzOG, or like they had some dumb
Being Deborah.
Oh, Being.
That's where she sings that song. I also have Being Barbara.
Mm-hmm.
I have all that.
I
anyway,
think I was on one of those, wasn't it?
You were on Being Matt, where you said that Matt looks like his dick smells bad.
Still stand by it.
Yeah.
Now, oops. Debs unfortunately was not in the movie.
No, she's too busy working at the airport, Joan.
Hey, all right.
Get that money, girl.
I did go see day one. Oh no, A Quiet Place day one. And this had Lupita Nyong'o. And it is the newest movie out this last weekend, A Quiet Place day one. Now, this is technically, I guess, kind of a prequel. Have you seen the other Quiet Place movies?
I think I tried to watch them when I was like drunk in New York. So no.
Okay, the first one was probably the best one. And then this one was supposed to be the day that these aliens come to Earth who are attracted to sound. And if you make any kind of sound, they basically just like snatch you up and kill you. So Lupita Nyong'o plays a character in the movie, and she's like a hospice patient. And so throughout the whole movie, she's trying to get back to where she was in the city because the aliens come there because she knows she's going to pass anyway. So that's kind of the story of the movie. I saw Thelma too, and it made me sob my eyes out multiple times. Is
that the biker?
It's the old lady on the scooter. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Oh, in the thing in the movie posters, it looks like she's on a bike. Probably on purpose.
Oh, it's like one of those like little scootery things.
That's gonna be my life in a few years, probably. I'm going to the Stampede with Justine on Thursday in my Roxy chaps and my scooter.
Ooh. Okay.
Really quickly, Beakerface says I'm a little behind, but I swear when Gary cooked tacos, I think that was the first time I've seen someone on Teen Mom cook food rather than eat out of styrofoam takeout containers. Well, that's not true, because in the episode that Joan did with me, Matt and Leah, baby Leah, is cooking Amber breakfast in bed, and then they take it up to her and it's like 10:30 in the morning. And she's like, thanks.
How do you remember that?
All right, anyway, continue. A Quiet Place.
So, A Quiet Place day one with Lupita Nyong'o.
Is this a horror movie, or is it like
it is a horror movie, but I didn't find it all that scary because it sticks to a very similar formula where it's like, okay, aliens come, mass chaos. Okay, and then there's a moment where they're like chilling off in like a place and it's nothing's going on. And then, aliens, mass chaos, another big scene. Oh, and then they're just chilling. And then mass chaos, and then they're chilling. And then mass chaos, and then they're chilling. It's just kind of was like, it's like, well, I know you're not going to kill off Lupita Nyong'o. And one bad thing they did in this movie was they only had like 3 characters most of the time. And so you knew like when there's 3 characters and one of them's Lupita Nyong'o, one of them is this guy from Stranger Things.
Okay. I only watched the first season.
The other one is Schnitzel, the cat, who Schnitzel actually played Frodo, the cat.
Oh, you were telling me about this yesterday.
This cat was in the movie. Loved. I did Google the movie first because I knew there was a cat in it and I need to know if the animal's going to die.
Obviously, yeah.
I will not watch it. If they said the cat was going to die, I'm not going to that. I'm just not.
If an animal, if like a dog yelps in pain or like surprise, yeah, I'm like, I can't watch it anymore.
But especially something like this where like you're going to go the whole movie loving this cat and then you're going to kill it. No. Well, it's safe to say the cat does live, but it probably should have died about 50,000 times throughout the movie because there are literal moments where this cat is put in a bag, like in a New York City tote bag.
Yeah.
Jumping off, they jump with the cat in the bag. They jump off the pier into the ocean and go under the water in the ocean. The cat's just chilling, pop up out of the water. And when they pop up out of the water, the cat like sticks its head out of the bag, just like.
My cats would claw my fucking face off if I tried to even pick them up.
Like my cat, Butch, is like, she's just so sweet. But there's no fucking way that if I threw her in, like jumped in the ocean with her in a bag, she'd be dead. She would have died within the first 5 minutes.
Yeah. And you'd be like missing an eye.
Now, so like here was an action shot. You can see Lupita Nyong'o has a bag over her shoulder there with that yellow sweater. They're outrunning the aliens. In that bag is Schnitzel, the cat, whose name was Frodo in the movie.
Okay.
Here's another photo. This is after literal... Like, now the cat is supposed to be a therapy cat in the movie, so I did want to believe that maybe it was more trained.
Okay, I don't think that's really a thing. I don't actually believe that's a thing.
But there were literal moments where, like, Lupita Nyong'o's like, it's dust everywhere around because things are blowing up and everything. The cat runs away from her, just runs into a crowd of aliens and all this stuff. You're like, okay, well, since I knew the cat wasn't going to die, every time the cat disappeared, I actually was happy because it made me less stressed out of what was going to happen to the cat.
Right, screen. For sure. Yeah.
I was like, oh, if it's off,
I just don't want to think about it anymore.
Screen, it's just chilling somewhere. Like, I know it's going to come back. But this cat runs into a crowd of aliens, people being killed, doing all this crazy shit. And then, like, Lupita Nyong'o's just chilling, like, hiding. The cat just walks up, starts drinking water on the ground. Are you fucking joking me? Anyway, okay. I can't say I loved the movie. I actually think the first ones were better. It gets boring because they're not talking.
Oh, right. Yeah.
They talk a little bit, but even then it's like boring. Sorry. And again, it's so repetitive. It does the same thing over and over where it's like, there will be a crazy, crazy scene with all this shit happening. And then they'll like go into an old diner and sit there for 5 minutes and talk about the meaning of life and shit. And then, oh no, a crazy thing happens. Like the cat hits something and makes noise. So then the aliens come. Oh no. I don't know. You know, I mean, that's what the movies are, but I still wasn't really feeling it. This week, there are a couple movies coming out. First, Despicable Me 4, which
oh my gosh, all right.
I don't know that I'll be watching it. But
they'll definitely be doing shit on Doughboys about that because Nick Weiger's obsessed with the Minions.
I think they're better than I would want to give them credit for. I think these movies are okay. If they release it in 3D, I will go see it because I love a 3D movie. But if not, I'm not going to see it. Then Maxxxine is coming out this Friday, which I have been awaiting because this is a part of the X, Pearl, and Maxxxine trilogy. I guess they're calling it the X trilogy. And what was really cool is the director of this. So this was X. It was directed by T.I. West. And then back to back, they made all this. So they made all these movies like back to back with the intention of
like Harry Potter
them as trilogies. Okay, I guess. I mean,
that's how they made Harry Potter.
Yes, but I would say this to me feels slightly different because with Harry Potter, they at least knew they were going to do all that. They kind of went into this first movie being like, well, we're making 3 movies. We don't even know if this is going to be popular, if people are going to like it. Luckily, it was successful. Have you seen X?
I've never heard of this.
It's about these, like, it's in the 70s. These adults go to find a place to go film a porn video in Texas. And they go to a farm, and at this farm is like a crazy killer woman, crazy killing old lady. Then Pearl came out.
Oh, I've seen a lot. Okay, I've seen stuff on TikTok from this.
Pearl is the prequel to X. Pearl is the crazy old lady who kills everyone in X, but in Pearl, she's like the young one.
Yeah.
Both of the characters are played by the same actress, Mia Goth. She plays Pearl, and she also plays Maxxine, who is in the first X movie. So Pearl was really great as well. A lot of people were like living for Pearl. I thought it was I really liked it as well. I think I saw it multiple times. Now they're coming out with Maxxine, which is technically the sequel to X. So Pearl was the prequel to X. Maxxine, I think, is the sequel because it's this character here, Maxxine. That's the character is now going to LA to become, I think it's LA or New York to like go become a porn star or like a bigger star. And I guess there's murder in it. It says she's going to be a star no matter what it takes. And I absolutely love this and I can't wait. And it comes out on Friday and I will definitely be seeing it, baby.
All right. What do you think of that article came out? Oh, I don't know when it came out, but I saw it like last week or the week before, where the Blair Witch people, like the 3 actors, are like trying to get like back money. But like I think I think it's kind of like, sorry, you auditioned for an indie movie, and they didn't know that it was going to be that successful. So sorry that that's the contract you signed, but you're kind of shit out of luck. That's my opinion on it.
Well, I wouldn't want you to be my lawyer.
I
understand where you're at with that, and I get that idea, but I also think that greed has consumed every ounce of our world.
Yeah.
And so the directors and the now makers, they've made plenty. You could throw a couple million to the people who like are starring in your movie.
But legally, I'm saying legally they have nothing.
I understand. And now here's where I would challenge you is some things are legally and lawful and some things are just right. And so you can do things, you can be the worst person in the world and still say, well, I did everything legally. Or you could be like a good person in the world and do what's right. Not just because the law told you have to pay these people. You could just be like, wait, I made $1 billion off of Blair Witch.
Are the filmmakers of Blair Witch still like living the high life? Because that was like in 1999.
I doubt it's the filmmakers. It is probably the studio, Universal or whoever the hell it is. And they are still making money off Blair Witch.
It does suck though, because all 3 of those actors, I'd say especially the girl, like there's nothing to do after that because like you're always going. It was a cool thing they did how they promoted that, but like she couldn't go and be in other things now because first of all, people believed her so much and she's such a kind of an unlikable character in that movie that like people already didn't like her and she can't really be in other stuff because she's so typecast. So I understand where they're coming from. However, they don't have a leg to stand on legally.
Mandisha, watch them in X, then Pearl, and then Maxxine. But Maxxine comes out this week, so I would just watch them in the order they're released.
Do you want to get into? Do you want to close it out with some TikTok?
Yeah.
Well, and then a little Brown Town, just a little spurt of Brown Town right at the end.
Well, it was kind of on TikTok, so right?
Oh no, I saw it on Instagram, but I'm sure.
Okay.
TikTok, you don't stop.
Okay, so the only thing that I've really seen, but I forgot to tell you about Rachel Goes Rogue, but now I can bring it into the TikTok.
You told me, didn't you?
About Dave Portnoy?
Oh, no. You just told us how much you love Rachel now and you feel bad
Way
for her.
Way too steamed. I thought your head was going to blow off your neck, so I had switched it into Teen Mom. But here's what happened. She was talking about, like, people were talking about, like, they were talking about, like, shitty things, reviews she's getting. And they're like, oh, so what's that thing that happened with Dave Portnoy? Rachel had been in Chicago one week, and Dave Portnoy was also in Chicago, like the city of Chicago. And that same week, Dave Portnoy and his girlfriend broke up. So all these articles came out that were like, clearly Rachel is fucking Dave Portnoy. That's why he broke up with his girlfriend. So then they talked about it on like, somebody asked for his statement, and he was like, I I have never even met that fucking trash bag. And I'm insulted that I would even be in the same sentence as her. It was just funny. They kind of went back and forth on it. And then I saw Rachel was like,
did she comment?
Yeah, she commented on that. She's like, it's just like, I don't know. That's not my reality. It's not my truth that I'm trash. So I know what Barstool Sports is.
That is not how she responded, is she?
This is on her plug. This is her rebuttal.
It's not my truth that
I'm trash. A lot of her, she says that a lot. It's not my truth. So, and then Dave Portnoy responded to that on his podcast. They played that audio for him. And as she's saying all this, all the other shock jocks are like, shut the fuck up, Rachel. Anyway, so, but on to happier things.
Now, I don't think Rachel needs to be dragged through every ounce of mud by Dave Portnoy. She doesn't need to be called trash by Dave Portnoy. I agree on that. Miss
Peaches barked for the first time this week. Did you see that? I sent it to you.
I did, but I'm starting to...
You're over Miss Peaches.
I love Miss Peaches, but
she's training
Dave Portnoy, I'm just done. I don't need to be... what do they call that? Like, spotlighting him. I don't need to be like...
Oh, sure.
Uplifting him because of Peaches. Like, there's
plenty of pizza review video.
I'm such a bitch today. I'm just like, there's plenty of dogs that need help. Okay.
This Peaches went through a lot. Let's go to Howie though. The only update here is that Howie. Can you throw that picture up? I'm just not.
Talk about going through a lot. Howie was hungry.
Howie finally ate her exoskeleton. So
Mama tried to take her leg.
There was this weird video that went on for too long where the mom is doing like this voice, and like this video is like a minute long where it's like, oh no, don't take my leg, it tastes too good, eating my exoskeleton is great for me because calcium, and it's like went on for too long, and
that would not be Howie's voice either.
I don't know what she was doing, but anyway, she was worried because she was doing like an old lady voice or something.
Oh, okay.
Howie, she was worried that Howie wasn't eating because she hadn't eaten for like 4 months, but now she's eaten her, exoskeleton, and now she's eating. So we're good. Howie's in the clear until the next molt, Joan.
God, how long until the next molt?
Oh, 6 to 8 months, I think. I'll let you know. You'll know.
This crab's old too. Technically, like Howie could just die before the molt too.
Yes, that's true.
I'm just saying, like that's not the only way.
He almost died live last week.
Don't get it in front of Jody, or else it'll be crab smashed. All right, finally.
Oh my gosh! So, lastly, Christine. I was gonna get out my Sister Wives book so I could read you this passage, but I don't even need to because I have it. Me and Jody have it memorized. There's a passage in the book where Cody, like the way the book is written, is the women will have a chapter, but Cody will have his own paragraphs in between, kind of being like, "Yeah, that is what happened, and this is how I felt about it."
Cody gets to interject in the women's mansplain in the women's
it's
chapters.
Weird the way it's done. Me and Jody read the whole book, and you can find it on our YouTube channel. It's Love.
I love you guys, but I don't think I could do that.
We had so much fun. I mean, obviously we're not just reading it, we're shading them the house down. But in the middle of this, Christine's talking about how she met Cody. She's so in love with him, and she was the greatest, and him and Mary were the greatest couple. And I love being around him. And then Cody's like, yeah, so right when we started dating, we went on this like overnight camping trip or something, and Christine was in the back seat and him and Mary were in the front seat, and they were driving. And he's like, we stopped at this gas station, and I'd been drinking soda pop all day, so my stomach was sour. So we went in, and Christine got the biggest plate of nachos I've ever seen. Honestly, she must have been pretty hungry because she was really wolfing them down. There was chili and cheese everywhere. The sight of this chubby girl in my car devouring those nachos was enough to put me off of dating a little. Well,
wait.
A lot. Did you not know that?
Of this chubby girl in my...
Yeah. And I guarantee if you found the book right now, that all of everything I said was probably 98% word for word. So anyway, she went... Yeah, Yeah. And then Christine's chapter right after that is like, yeah, I know. Isn't that funny that I didn't realize that he was so grossed out. He broke up with her after that. And then he dated another woman who was underage. And then they got engaged. They were waiting for her to turn 18. But then her parents came in and kiboshed that. So then he went back to Christine. He had to get over the nachos.
He dated an underage girl and was trying to groom her to be his next
him and
wife.
Mary were courting they were waiting for her to turn legal.
That's called grooming. Thank you. Oh my God.
So anyway, this week, and like Christine is in on this now. She when she met her new husband, David, they have like nacho days where it's like they've had this big nacho fest. So it's like nacho wife. So anyway, her and David went on this road trip and she did this Instagram like reel where she's like, hey guys, guess where I am? This is the gas station where I got those nachos. Remember that nacho
It was
the
gas station.
Yeah, she showed the gas station. And then she just goes, well, not your wife anymore. And oh, it's nacho anniversary. She's like saying like not your wife anymore, not your wife anymore. And everyone just really I mean, honestly, Christine, I would never let that die either. That would be my dying words as a reference to that nacho thing.
I love nachos.
Me too. At a movie theater, I'm getting nachos before I'm getting popcorn.
Yeah.
Or anyway,
a pretzel. Problem with the pretzel, it doesn't last long enough because I just pound that thing.
I pound everything because I'm getting really stoned in the parking lot before I go in.
I ain't making that pretzel last. No way. All right, so babies, that was it, honey. So what we're going to ask you to do is if you are not already subscribed, click subscribe, smash the like. Do it now, please. Also, could you leave us a comment on the rewatch or go watch some of our other shit and leave us comments? If you'd like, you can join our Patreon. We've gotten like 3 new Patreon members in the last like 4 days. So it's been so exciting.
You don't need to update people on that, all right? But yes, that's good.
I thought that was exciting.
It was great. I love it.
Okay, trust me, babes. It had been days since we had gotten anyone. So I was like, whoa. So people must have been liking it.
Ooh, they like June Joan. Happy Pride.
So anyway, we love you guys. Not to beg, but if you want, you could give us a what are they? Super
stickers, super thanks. We don't really know what it is, but you can. Some people have given them to us, so apparently there's a way to do it. And that's it. I think everyone can say bye to Walter. Say bye, Stinky. We love you.
Bye,
have a wonderful
everybody.
week. Bye. Mwah.
Oh.